Mock 10, top 10 NFL draft for the 2026 NFL draft with Cody Carpentier and Matty Kiwoom. We're back with the Draft Ranking Show. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. We're just about 6 weeks out to the NFL draft, and we're back because we're pretty sure, even though this is the midst of free agency, so there might be some stuff we've missed or we don't talk about on the show that has happened in the last couple of hours, but that's the art of pre-recording. We do know the Raiders will not be drafting a center at 101. We can pretty much assume that because they got Tyler Linderbaum. I kind of also assume the Jets won't be drafting Caleb Downs at 2, not only because we don't think that anyway, but because they went out and decided, hey, we're going to spend the 7th-round pick on Minkah Fitzpatrick instead.
That's right.
Of, using the 102 because, that might be actually kind of smart on the behalf of Darren Muge. But, Matty Kiwoom, let's get through this thing. We're going to draft 10 players in the top 10. We're going to try and correctly draft the top 10 players in this draft for the 2026 draft, because that's the key, as we've talked about, to getting the Huddle Report, to winning the Huddle Report that neither of us have won yet, but we want to. So 101, we'll plug in Fernando Mendoza. We're not going to talk about that. 102, Matty Kiwoom, what are you thinking?
So the Jets seem like they could have gone with a quarterback. Ty Simpson did well in Indy. Don't think that's the case. I think they have their eyes on 2027. It seems as if they are monitoring the veteran market. Names like Carson Wentz and Geno Smith have popped up, but we'll maybe know more. Maybe by the time you listen to this, you'll know more. I think they go defense, and I think Arvell Reese did enough. Talked about the willingness to play edge and linebacker. I think the versatility, the skill set, everything checks out. They go get Arvell Reese.
I think I agree. 67% of the mocks are in that range we talked about last year. When you get over 50%, it starts to be a big lean. That's the only other selection after Fernando Mendoza. Over 50% is Reese, 2 to the Jets. 3 to the Arizona Cardinals. This one's got a little bit more volatility to it. I think the Cardinals are going to continue to, make waves, and I'm not sure what direction I totally believe they're going to go into. I believe they should go right tackle. I think they'll have their option here with Maui Noah or Fano, but you also have David Bailey here. So I personally lean tackle still, but I do wonder what you think, Matty.
So the first wave of industry mocks, from the big dogs, the big players here, unanimous offensive line. It's since switched some line, some defense. I think they go with the lineman here. And the reason being is they don't need a left tackle. So the knocks on Maui Noah and Fanu is that they're not going to be left tackles. They don't need one. So they can go get their number 1 tackle on the board, whoever that may be.
All right. I want to go ahead and plug in Maui Noah. Let's do that here at the 3, and then at the 4 we got the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans are on the clock here. We do have Jeremiah Love available. We've heard some smoke of Jeremiah Love. We've heard a lot of Ruben Bain love for the Tennessee Titans. The current mock draft consensus is Ruben Bain at just 26%. But if you combine him and Jeremiah Love, it's up over 45% for either Ruben Bain plus Jeremiah Love at this selection. That's where I'm at, is those two guys.
I'm going to go completely different because I think they're just going to go with someone that has probably been atop of their scouts big board for a long time. I think Caleb Downs. They make him the highest drafted safety playmaker. Whoa. They don't have the talent in the back end of their defense. Even after trading for Snead, they still don't lack that true playmaker in safety. Overall, Robert Salah went out and got Jeremiah Johnson, someone he was familiar with in New York. Ruben Bain came with a little bit too many red flags for me. Give me Caleb Downs, 4th overall pick.
I absolutely hate that, but I'll do it. All right, 5th overall, we got the New York Giants here. A lot of needs, but they've made some moves so far, including signing a tight end. So we know they're not going to take Sadiq here. Duh. Got Isaiah Likely in free agency to bring him in and pair him with Harbaugh. Here's the interesting thing about the New York Giants is I did a mock on the channel, a 7-round mock for the Giants, and all I got back was 105 equals Sonny Styles, 105 equals Sonny Styles, 105 equals Sonny Styles. That was all the comments. It's like 30 comments, all Sonny Styles. 39% of the mocks right now are Sonny Styles. That's the 3rd most behind Arvell Reese to the New York Jets. Sonny Styles to the New York Giants. So that would be both Ohio State linebackers going to New York. And this just it's hard not to remember the Isaiah Simmons draft when they took him 9th overall as a super athletic, out of this world athlete at the linebacker position. That's kind of tough to project, but they love styles. It seems like at this middle linebacker spot, the next highest mocked players, Caleb Downs, Maui Noah, those guys are both at the board. And then Cardinal Tate enters the conversation. I just think when you're sitting here at 5, like to me, it comes down to, do you want Fano or do you want Styles? Can you break my tie?
I could break it by asking you a question. Do you believe Joe Shane makes the smart move or the dumb move?
The dumb move.
Then it's Styles.
Number 6, the Cleveland Browns, who also need offensive line help, feels like they might run up to the board with whichever name they have, either Monroe Freeling or Spencer Fano. Is that where you're leaning?
That's exactly where I'm leaning. I think Fanu making it here would cause them a little bit of pause. But I got to be honest, the boards are swaying. We're seeing more and more Freeling being the pick here at 6, and I'm going to go with it. I'm going to run with it because he came out of Indy as the guy now I think you could bill as probably the stickiest to be left tackle. Played a ton of it at Georgia, and now he's got the size, the athleticism, so give me Monroe.
All right, there it is. We got 4 picks left. Click that like button, click subscribe. We'll be out of here in just a couple of minutes. We have the Washington Commanders at pick 7. Ruben Bain's available. David Bailey's available. Their choice of receivers available. Spencer Fano's available. They just did re-sign Laramie Tunsil to a lucrative deal on Monday. So the right tackle position is Josh Connerly from 2025 first-round pick. They got Sam Cosmi inside. They do have a left guard spot that's open, so you could move Cosmi to left guard, bump in Connerly, and then draft yourself a Fano to put him at right tackle, or just use Fano on the inside as well and shore up that entire offensive line to project Jaden Daniels. Something's telling me they're not going to go offensive line, though. And it's like it has to be edge or love BPA.
Yeah, sounds like you're on to what I'm picking up too.
I've been Bailey, though. I've been Bailey here, but I kind of think BPA might be the answer with love.
Love would be the sexy pick, but they need edge, man. They need edge, and they've really kind of lacked that Tasmanian devil on the edge.
All right, we go Bailey. 8th overall, the New Orleans Saints, who have been trying to get out of this Alvin Kamara deal for the last couple of years, are on the clock, and they're staring in the eyes of the next either Cam Jordan or their next Alvin Kamara, and they have a choice here. Which one is the play?
In this scenario, there is no bigger winner than the New Orleans Saints because we have seen 2 linebackers and a safety go off the board. And even if these aren't the exact landing spots, this is what we're going to witness. We're going to witness a really wacky draft where the positions that don't have a ton of positional value, linebacker, safety, running back, they're all going to be sprinkled in this top 10. And for me, I am going to go with Jeremiah Love at 8. The reason being, Kellen Moore got his quarterback, got his receiver. They need a running back. They need the BPA. They go Jordan Love because remember, Kellen Moore was front and center when he saw Saquon Barkley being such a valuable member of that Super Bowl winning Eagles. They get their stud running back in Jeremiah Love.
Not very often that a multi-time, or let's just say dynasty level team gets a top 10 pick. And the overwhelming consensus draft pick here has been 26% Jeremiah Love to the Chiefs. Not only did the Saints just snipe them, but even if he was available, they signed Kenneth Walker to the 4th largest deal among running backs in an APY perspective to join Patrick Mahomes in this backfield. And one thing that I've been getting pounded with on socials and on the YouTube comments has been this right tackle position for the Chiefs. And Spencer Fano falling to you at 9. Ruben Bain also falling to you at 9. Another great one. But Spencer Fano falling to you at 9. As a top, it's like, what do you want me to, say?
It's a move here. I think them taking one of these tackles would go under the radar, but what a smart move it would be. They need it. They're letting Taylor go. I think Fanu's a good pick, but I'll say this. Fanu, Bain, those are going to be the next two picks because I was going to go Fanu or Bain with the Bengals. I don't know if any of the cornerbacks really separated themselves to be the unequivocal, no doubt, give me that corner to be my guy in Delane. Also, when McCoy, he's coming back from the injury, didn't perform at the combine, so I'm going to go with Ruben Bain, a gift for the Bengals there at 10.
There it is right there. First overall, Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders, Arvell Reese to the Jets, Francis Maui-Noah to the Cardinals, Caleb Downs to the Titans, Sonny Styles to the Giants, Monroe Freeling to the Browns, David Bailey to the Commanders, Jeremiah Love to the Saints, Spencer Fano to the Chiefs, and Ruben Bain Jr. to the Cincinnati Bengals. 10 for 10 on March 9th. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all, and we'll see you in the next one. Matty, I think we nailed it.
Peace.